Like just recently, an 89-year-old man reported himself in after he hit a 15-year-old pedestrian, but he didn't realize he hit them until the day later when he read it in the paper. So how many of you have ever been stuck behind an old person, like doing 20 below the speed limit, or so who thinks elderly drivers should be retested?
1, 2, 3.
Oh, we do.
A lot.
Amen to that.
All of us.
So I strongly believe that they should be retested. So today I'm going to be telling you that there's a bunch of statistics and numbers that show that there's an increase in crashes involving elderly drivers. The health issues that come along with old age affect their driving ability. The different laws that each state has concerning old drivers, and the ways that we can improve license renewal, and then I'm going to give a story. So according to Fox News, how states are dealing with older drivers, the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety says that the crash rate of older drivers begins to climb in the 70s with a sharper jump at age 80. So the older the driver is, the more likely they are to get into an accident. Ann McCart from the Insurance Institute says that the oldest drivers, 85 and up, still have the highest rate of deadly crashes per mile, even more than teens. Today, most people are more concerned about new drivers and teen drivers, but in reality, the old drivers are the ones that we should be worried about. Stated by the Office for National Statistics, more than 95,000 people aged 65 in 2012 will reach their 100th birthday in 2047, so this just goes to show that in the future there's going to be so much more older drivers, and we should do something about it now rather than later. An article entitled "Older Drivers Are a Better Test Needed to Judge the Ability Behind the Wheel" states that 30 years ago only 1 in 3 men and 1 in 20 women aged 20 or more held a driving license, but today 3 out of 4 men and 1 in 3 women aged 70 or more are licensed to drive. Again, this shows the amount of old drivers there are. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, aging affects elderly drivers in a number of ways. They have arthritis, which is inflammation or pain in their joints, dementia, which affects their memory and their judgment. They have slower reflexes, and they use multiple medications depending on the health issues that they have. They have a decline in vision and hearing. They always say, like, when you get old, everything on your body goes downhill. Frailty, they're more weak and fragile, and fatigue, they're tired more often. The Insurance Institute for Highway Safety said that several studies shown that the higher level of physical, cognitive, or visual impairment along older drivers are associated with increased risk of crash involvement, which shows on the last slide the amount of issues that come along with old age obviously affect driving. These are common errors that older drivers have. Like, we look at them as like foolish, or they're really easy, but most elderly drivers have problems with these. At intersections, left turns, changing lanes, merging, failure to yield the right of way, and blind spots. The National Institute of Health says that this is due to gradual declines in vision, reaction times, and other abilities. Vice President of AARP, Eleanor Ginsler, says that what determines your safety isn't your age, but your ability. You know, someone could be 100 years old and in perfectly good health. They could be a good driver. It just depends on if you have health problems or not. And then some individual state laws. Illinois, at 75, you have to renew your license. Once you turn 81, you have to do it every 2 years instead of every 4. And then once you're 87, you have to do it yearly. Washington, D.C., starting at age 70, you must bring a doctor's certificate to say you're okay to still drive. In New Mexico, once you turn 75, you have to have yearly renewals. Massachusetts requires in-person renewal at 75 and an eye exam. Virginia, at age 80, you must renew it in person and pass their eye test. California, at age 70, it must be in person with a written test and an eye exam. And then Pennsylvania, their licenses are renewed every 4 years, but there's no special rules for older drivers. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration proposed a national guideline for older drivers' safety that recommends that basically just that every state has equal laws for elderly drivers and they should have in-person renewals rather than just take a test. The article on how states are dealing with older drivers from Fox News says that in-person renewals are the single most effective thing states can do to improve safety. And this is because that when you renew your license, all you have to do basically is check yes or no that you're eligible to drive. When in reality, like, they don't have to give proof that they have any issues, or they don't have to take a driving test to show that they're a good person to be able to be on the roads. And then this is just a story. Jerry Wiseman and his wife, he's 69, and he started to realize that it was harder for him to do the things he could do at 50. So he took a course at AARP and to improve his driving, to ensure his flexibility and checking blind spots. And this is just a good role model of what elderly people should do. The article on how states are dealing with older drivers says that today nearly 32 million drivers are 65 or older, and by 2030 federal estimates show that there will be about 57 million. So again, this is just going to show that in the future there's going to be so many more elderly drivers, and that we should make laws now so they can be safe on the roads. So today we went over the facts and statistics that show the increased amount of crashes involved with elderly drivers, that it's not just age that's the reason why you're a bad driver, it's the health issues that come along with it. And I think that more states should set out to have equal rules and regulations regarding driving, and that there are many ways to improve this idea, such as states enforcing safety laws and in-person renewals and taking a driving test on the spot. So, given all the facts and circumstances, I feel that we should be testing elderly drivers, because all the information that I've given shows that it's true that crashes have increased with older drivers. Is there any questions? That's my email. Feel free to contact me.